The president of Uganda was inspecting a new gun, but just then, he saw that one of his subordinates was flirting mischievously with his wife. So, in the very next moment, the president shot him. But seeing this, the arms dealer Mike got scared, as he only wanted to get out of there alive. Hearing his words, the president started laughing. But then, he gave Mike an order to bring in lots of weapons so that he could flood his country with dead bodies. So, the next month, Mike started bringing several containers filled with weapons to Uganda. But just then, Interpol noticed his ship. So Mike immediately told his workers to change the ship's name and also to hoist the Dutch flag over it. However, his workers only had a French flag. But Mike didn't panic because the Dutch and French flags had the same colors. When Interpol inspected Mike's ship, they only found containers full of potatoes. Among those potatoes, Mike had hidden his weapons, but Interpol couldn't see them. So Mike managed to escape. But the next time, when he was supplying weapons through an airplane, the US Air Force surrounded him and told him to land the plane. At first, Mike didn't listen. But when the American fighter jets began firing, he unwillingly agreed to land the plane. However, the country where Mike landed was outside American law, and there were several armed factions there. Seeing them gave Mike an idea. He started distributing weapons to those groups for free, telling them that they could take whatever weapons they wanted. That was all Mike had to say. Within minutes, those villagers looted $1 billion worth of weapons. They even began taking pieces of Mike's plane, and after a few hours, only the skeleton of the plane was left. But when the police arrived there hours later, they couldn't find a single weapon. So they had no choice but to release Mike.